It was a cold, rainy night when Emma, a college student, returned to her small apartment after a long day of classes and study sessions. As she unlocked the door and stepped inside, she felt an unsettling chill in the air. She glanced around, noticing that everything seemed normal. The lights were off, the windows were shut, and her books were exactly where she left them. Shrugging it off, she switched on the lights and began her nightly routine. Just as she was about to settle down on the couch to watch some TV, she received a message from her roommate, Sarah. "Hey, I'll be home late tonight. Got some extra work at the library. Don't wait up." Emma smiled and replied back, "No worries. See you later." She set her phone down and started scrolling through channels. A few minutes passed when Emma thought she heard a faint tap 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 sound coming from the kitchen. She paused, muted the TV, and listened. Silence. She waited a few more seconds before deciding it was just her imagination. But then, it happened again. Louder this time. The distinct sound of tapping. Emma stood up, her heart rate increasing slightly, and walked cautiously toward the kitchen. She peeked around the corner and froze. The kitchen window was wide open, rain pouring in and splattering on the tiled floor. Emma distinctly remembered closing all the windows before she left. A sense of unease washed over her. She quickly shut the window and locked it, her mind racing to rationalize the situation. Maybe Sarah had opened it before she left and forgot to close it, she thought. Returning to the living room, Emma tried to focus on her show, but the uneasy feeling persisted. Out of the corner of her eye, she caught a glimpse of movement in the hallway mirror. Her heart jumped. She turned her head, expecting to see someone or something. But the hallway was empty. Taking a deep breath, Emma walked up to the mirror and stared at her reflection. Everything seemed normal. Her tired eyes, her messy bun, the soft glow of the hallway light behind her. She turned around and looked down the empty hallway. "I need sleep," she murmured to herself. She was about to head back when she saw it, a shadow moving in the mirror. Emma's heart pounded in her chest as she turned back, eyes wide. This time, she didn't just see herself. Standing behind her in the reflection was a figure. A tall, dark shape with no discernible face or features, just a void where a person should be. Emma whipped around to see who was behind her, but the hallway was empty. She looked back at the mirror, nothing. Her reflection stared back at her, alone. A cold sweat formed on her forehead as she backed away, her breathing uneven. "You're just tired, that's all," she whispered, trying to convince herself. But deep down, she knew something was wrong, very wrong. Deciding it was best to call Sarah, Emma grabbed her phone and dialed the number. It rang and rang, but no one picked up. She tried again, no answer. Panic started to bubble up inside her. She sent a quick text, "Hey, are you almost home? I think there's someone here." Minutes felt like hours as she waited for a response. Finally, her phone buzzed. It was Sarah. "What do you mean? I'm right outside." Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her. She ran to the front door, threw it open, and stopped dead in her tracks. Sarah was standing there, looking confused and holding her phone, but something was off. Her eyes were wide, too wide, and her expression was frozen in a way that seemed unnatural. "What's wrong?" Sarah asked in a voice that sounded almost robotic, like it was being forced. Emma took a step back. "You're not Sarah," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. The figure at the door tilted its head, a disturbing grin slowly spreading across its face. "Why would you say that?" it whispered, its voice now shifting, deeper and echoing in the empty hallway. Emma stumbled backward, the door still wide open. The figure that looked like Sarah took a step forward, its grin stretching impossibly wide. "You invited me in, didn't you?" It continued, its voice changing to mimic Emma's. "No, get out," Emma screamed, slamming the door shut. She locked it and pressed her back against it, trembling. Her heart pounded like a drum in her chest. She dialed 911 with shaking hands, but before she could press call, a loud bang came from behind her. She turned slowly, dread filling her every bone. There, in the hallway mirror, stood the figure again. Its grin now grotesque and unnatural, the eyes glowing with a sinister red hue. It raised one hand and waved at her. "I'm already inside," it hissed through the glass, its voice echoing through the empty apartment. The lights flickered, and the air around Emma grew cold. The last thing Emma saw was her own terrified reflection trapped in the mirror, as the creature stepped forward, pulling her into the dark, cold void. No one heard from Emma again. When the police arrived, they found the apartment empty, the front door still locked. The only trace left behind was the mirror, lying shattered on the floor, with Emma's wide-eyed face forever etched into one of the shards, silently screaming. And that was the chilling tale of the uninvited guest. Remember, sometimes what we see isn't always what's there, and what's there isn't always visible. If you enjoyed this story and want more spine-chilling experiences, be sure to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying tales. Turn on notifications so you never miss a night of horror. Until next time, beware of what's behind you.